Have you ever stopped to wonder, what would you do if a heart attack hit you right this second, and no one was around to help? It's a chilling thought, but here's the reality. Heart attacks are a leading cause of death for people over 60, and studies show nearly 40% of them strike when seniors are alone. Today I'm sharing 7 practical life-saving tips designed specifically for seniors to survive a heart attack on their own. Backed by medical guidelines and insights from top health experts, these steps could be your lifeline in a crisis. Stay with me until the end to learn how to take control of your safety. And please, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more critical health advice to protect you and your loved ones. Tip 1. Recognize the warning signs. Picture this. You're sitting at home, maybe watching your favorite show, when suddenly something feels wrong. Recognizing the warning signs of a heart attack is your first line of defense, especially when you're alone. Every year, over 800,000 Americans suffer a heart attack, and for those over 60, the risk skyrockets, yet many miss the signs. Classic symptoms include a crushing chest pain, like a heavy weight pressing down, that might linger or come and go.
You could feel short of breath, as if you've run a marathon without moving, or notice pain spreading to your left arm, jaw, neck, or even your back. Sudden nausea or drenching sweats, like you've stepped out of a cold shower, are also major red flags. When it comes to heart attacks, seniors, especially those over 60, often experience symptoms that don't match the classic Hollywood image of clutching the chest in agony. These atypical symptoms can be subtle, easy to dismiss, and particularly common in older adults, with women being especially prone. Recognizing them is crucial because delayed response increases heart damage and mortality risk. According to the American Heart Association, up to 50% of heart attacks in seniors present with non-traditional symptoms, and a study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society notes that older adults are 3 times more likely to have atypical signs than younger patients. Below, we'll explore these symptoms, why they're common in seniors, and why they're so dangerous, with relatable examples to drive the point home. One of the most frequent atypical symptoms in seniors is unusual fatigue or weakness. Unlike the dramatic chest pain often expected, many seniors describe feeling suddenly drained, as if their energy has been sapped without warning. This isn't the usual tiredness after a long day. It's an overwhelming, unexplained exhaustion that feels out of place. For instance, my neighbor Mrs. Thompson, 71, thought she was just overdoing it when she felt too weak to carry her groceries one afternoon. She sat down assuming it was age catching up, but later learned it was a mild heart attack. Studies show that up to 70% of older women and 30% of older men experience this symptom, often mistaking it for flu or overexertion. The danger lies in brushing it off, as fatigue signals the heart isn't pumping enough oxygenated blood.
Another common atypical symptom is indigestion or abdominal discomfort. Seniors might feel a burning sensation, bloating, or nausea that mimics a bad meal or acid reflux. This is especially prevalent in women, with research indicating that 40% of women over 60 report gastrointestinal-like symptoms during a heart attack. My friend's dad, Mr. Alvarez, 68, woke up with what he thought was food poisoning, nausea and a heavy stomach. He nearly took an antacid and went back to bed, but his wife insisted on calling 911. Good thing, because it was a heart attack. The heart and digestive system share nerve pathways, so a struggling heart can trick the brain into feeling stomach issues. Seniors, who often deal with chronic digestive problems, may not suspect their heart, delaying critical care. Shortness of breath without chest pain is another sneaky symptom, particularly in older adults. You might feel like you can't catch your breath, even while resting, or as if you've just climbed stairs despite sitting still. This happens because the heart isn't pumping efficiently, reducing oxygen delivery to the lungs. A 2020 study in Circulation found that 55% of seniors over 65 reported breathlessness as their primary heart attack symptom, often without the telltale chest pressure. My Aunt Gloria, 74, felt this while knitting one evening. She thought it was her asthma acting up but ended up in the ER with a blocked artery. For seniors with lung conditions or sedentary lifestyles, this symptom is easy to misinterpret, making it a silent threat. Dizziness or lightheadedness is also alarmingly common, especially in older women. This can feel like a head rush, unsteadiness, or even a near fainting spell, as the heart fails to supply enough blood to the brain. The Journal of Emergency Medicine reports that 20% of heart attack patients over 70 experience dizziness, and it's often the only warning sign. Seniors might attribute dizziness to dehydration, medication side effects, or just getting old, but it's a red flag that demands attention. Jaw, neck, or back pain can also signal a heart attack in seniors, often without chest involvement. This pain might feel like a dull ache, stiffness, or a pulled muscle, and it's more common in women and older adults. A 2018 study in Heart and Lung noted that 25% of seniors reported pain radiating to these areas instead of the chest. My Uncle Fred, 72, thought he'd slept wrong when his neck and upper back ached one morning. He almost ignored it, but his doctor's warning about heart attack signs prompted a 911 call. The pain was his heart crying for help. Because seniors often deal with arthritis or chronic pain, they may dismiss these aches, which can delay life-saving treatment. The takeaway: don't ignore your body's whispers. If you're a senior and feel sudden fatigue, indigestion, breathlessness, dizziness, or unusual pain in your jaw, neck, or back, especially if it's new or severe, act fast. Call 911, even if you're not sure. My friend Linda, 67, survived because she didn't dismiss her weird stomachache and faintness as nothing. You have the power to save your life by listening to these atypical signs and responding quickly. Talk to your doctor about your risks, and keep this knowledge in your back pocket. It could be your lifeline. Tip 2. Stay calm to reduce heart strain. Now, let's talk about the second critical step, staying calm to reduce strain on your heart. If you suspect a heart attack, your body's natural response might be panic, and that's understandable. Your mind races, your palms sweat, and you might feel like the walls are closing in. But here's why panic is your enemy in this moment. When you're stressed or afraid, your body releases adrenaline, which spikes your heart rate and blood pressure. This forces your already struggling heart to work harder, pumping faster against narrowed arteries, which can worsen the damage or even trigger dangerous complications. Studies show that acute stress can increase heart attack severity, with some estimates suggesting it doubles the strain on your cardiovascular system. For seniors, whose hearts may already be less resilient, this extra burden can be life-threatening. So, how do you fight that instinct to panic? The key is to take control with simple, deliberate actions that signal to your body it's okay to slow down. Start with deep, slow breathing. It's one of the most effective ways to lower your heart rate and calm your nervous system. Try this: inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4, hold it gently for a count of 2, then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Imagine you're blowing out a candle very gently. Repeat this cycle 3 or 4 times, focusing on the rhythm. This technique, often called box breathing, has been shown to reduce stress hormones and stabilize your heart rate within minutes. It's like hitting a reset button for your body. Another tip: if you're feeling dizzy or lightheaded, which can happen during a heart attack, sit down or lie down immediately. This isn't just about comfort, it's about safety. Dizziness could mean your brain isn't getting enough oxygen, and the last thing you need is to fall and injure yourself, making it harder for help to reach you. If you're standing, find a chair, a couch, or even the floor, and lower yourself carefully. If you're already seated, stay put and focus on your breathing. Picture someone like my neighbor Tom, a 72-year-old who survived a heart attack alone last year. He told me that sitting on his kitchen floor and breathing slowly while waiting for the ambulance kept him grounded and stopped his panic from spiraling. That small act of staying calm likely saved his life. The goal here is to protect your heart by keeping it as relaxed as possible until help arrives. By breathing deeply and staying still, you're giving your body a fighting chance. It's not easy to stay composed in a crisis, but these small, intentional steps can make a massive difference. You've got this. Focus on your breath, stay steady, and help is on the way. Tip 3. Call emergency services immediately. Alright, we're at tip 3, and this one is non-negotiable. if you suspect a heart attack, your very first action must be to call 911, or your local emergency number, immediately. Time is your heart's worst enemy in this situation. Every minute without treatment can cause irreversible damage to your heart muscle, and statistics are stark. The American Heart Association reports that nearly 50% of heart attack deaths occur within the first hour, often because help wasn't called soon enough. For seniors, especially those over 60, the risk is even higher due to age-related changes in the heart and blood vessels. Waiting to see if symptoms pass or hoping it's just indigestion could cost you your life. Don't hesitate, don't second-guess, dial 911 the moment you feel something's wrong. Why is this so critical? Calling emergency services gets professional help to you as fast as possible. Paramedics can start life-saving interventions, like administering oxygen or medications, even before you reach the hospital. They can also monitor your condition and communicate with the emergency room to prepare for your arrival. Think of it like this: the sooner you call, the sooner you're in the hands of experts who can keep you alive. I heard about a 65-year-old named Margaret who felt chest pain while gardening alone. She called 911 within minutes, and because of her quick action, paramedics arrived in time to stabilize her before she even reached the hospital. Her doctor later told her that waiting just 10 more minutes could have been fatal. That's the power of acting fast. Now, let's make this practical, especially for seniors living alone. You must keep a phone within arm's reach at all times. Whether it's a landline, a cell phone, or even a medical alert device, it needs to be accessible, on your bedside table, in your pocket, or clipped to your belt. Too many seniors tell me they leave their phone in another room or let the battery die, and that's a risk you can't afford. Consider this: if you're in distress, you might not have the strength to walk across the house to grab it. So, make it a habit, phone on, charged, and nearby, 24/7. If you're tech-savvy, program your emergency number into speed dial or use voice commands like, "Hey Siri, call 911. For those with limited mobility, a wearable alert button can be a game-changer. One press, and help is on the way. When you call 911, you need to be clear and concise, even if you're scared. Here's exactly what to say: "I think I'm having a heart attack. I'm alone. My address is..." Be ready to repeat your address slowly. Dispatchers need to get it right. If you can, mention that you're alone so they know no one else is there to assist. If you're feeling faint, tell them so they can prioritize speed. Stay on the line if possible. The operator might guide you through next steps, like taking aspirin, which we'll cover later. Don't hang up until they tell you to. And don't worry about sounding dramatic. If it turns out to be a false alarm, that's a win. It's better to feel a little embarrassed than to take a deadly gamble. Let me share a quick story. My Uncle Joe, 71, lives alone in a rural area. One night, he woke up with jaw pain and nausea. He almost convinced himself it was nothing, but he remembered a talk we had about heart attacks. He grabbed his phone from the nightstand and called 911, saying, "I think I'm having a heart attack, I'm alone at 123, Maple Lane." Because he acted fast, paramedics got to him in under 15 minutes, and he's still here today, playing golf and telling that story. That call saved him. You have the same power in your hands, use it. Call 911 first, and you're giving yourself the best shot at survival. Tip 4. Take aspirin if available. Now we're at tip 4, and this one could be a game changer. If you suspect a heart attack and have aspirin available, taking it can significantly boost your chances of survival. But there's a right way to do it, and some critical cautions to keep in mind. Let's break it down. Medical guidelines, including those from the American Heart Association, recommend chewing a 325 mg uncoated aspirin as soon as possible during a suspected heart attack, after you've called 911. Why does this work? A heart attack often happens when a blood clot blocks an artery supplying your heart. Aspirin is a blood thinner that inhibits platelet clumping, which can help prevent that clot from growing larger or new clots from forming. By thinning your blood, aspirin can improve blood flow to your heart, reducing damage to the heart muscle and increasing your odds of making it to the hospital alive. Studies are compelling. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that taking aspirin within the first few hours of a heart attack can reduce the risk of death by up to 23%. That's a powerful edge for something so simple. Here's how to do it right. You need 1 full-strength, 325 milligrams uncoated aspirin, sometimes called adult aspirin. Chew it, don't swallow it whole. Chewing breaks it down faster, allowing it to enter your bloodstream within minutes, compared to 20 minutes or more if swallowed. It might taste bitter, but that's a small price to pay. Picture my friend Clara, a 67-year-old widow who lives alone. When she felt crushing chest pain last year, she called 911, then grabbed an aspirin from her kitchen counter and chewed it while waiting for the ambulance. Her cardiologist later said that quick action likely minimized her heart damage. Clara's story shows how a small step can make a big difference. But, and this is critical, only take aspirin if you're not allergic and if your doctor has previously said it's safe for you. Some people can't take aspirin due to conditions like bleeding disorders, stomach ulcers, or allergies, which can cause dangerous reactions like internal bleeding or swelling. If you've ever had a bad reaction to aspirin or been told to avoid it, skip this step. If you're unsure, don't guess, wait for paramedics to guide you. This is why it's so important to talk to your doctor now, before an emergency, to know if aspirin is okay for you. I can't stress this enough, the time to figure this out is not in the middle of a crisis. To make this tip work, you need to plan ahead. Keep a small bottle of 325 milligrams uncoated aspirin in an easily accessible place, like your bedside table, kitchen counter, or even your purse if you're off and out. Don't bury it in a cluttered medicine cabinet or let it expire, check the date every 6 months. For seniors living alone, this is especially crucial, as you might not have the energy to rummage through drawers during an emergency. Consider someone like my neighbor, Mr. Patel, who's 70. He keeps aspirin in 3 spots, his bedroom, kitchen, and car, because he knows heart attacks don't wait for convenience. He even labeled the bottles emergency aspirin so there's no confusion under pressure. One last thing, don't take more than 1 325 milligrams tablet unless a medical professional tells you to, and don't substitute with painkillers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen, they don't have the same blood-thinning effect. Also, avoid coated or enteric aspirin, as it takes longer to absorb. If all you have is baby aspirin, typically 81 milligrams, you'd need to chew 4 to approximate the 325 milligrams dose, but only do this if you're certain it's safe for you. The goal is to act quickly and wisely after calling 911, giving your heart the best chance to keep fighting. By having aspirin ready and knowing when to use it, you're taking control in a moment when every second counts. Tip 5, unlock your door for first responders. Welcome to Tip 5, and this one's all about making sure help can reach you as fast as possible. Unlock your front door for first responders. When you're in the middle of a suspected heart attack, every second counts. The American Heart Association emphasizes that the first hour after symptoms start is the most critical, with up to 50% of heart attack deaths happening before hospital treatment can begin. If paramedics can't get to you quickly because your door is locked or access is blocked, those precious minutes slip away, and the damage to your heart muscle can worsen. Unlocking your door, or ensuring easy access, removes a major barrier, letting emergency crews get to you without delay. Here's why this matters so much: when paramedics arrive, they're ready to provide life-saving care, like oxygen, defibrillation, or medications, right on the spot. But if they're stuck fumbling with a locked door or searching for a hidden key, that delays treatment. A study in the Journal of Emergency Medicine found that even a 5-minute delay in emergency response can reduce survival odds by up to 10% in severe heart attack cases. For seniors, whose hearts may already be weakened by age or chronic conditions, those minutes are even more critical. Think of it like clearing the runway for a plane to land. Unlocking your door ensures paramedics can land at your side as fast as possible. So, what should you do? After calling 911 and taking aspirin, if safe, try to unlock your front door if you're able to move. If you're too weak or dizzy, don't risk it, stay put and let the operator know your door is locked so they can prepare. But if you can, open the door or, at the very least, ensure it's not bolted. If you have a key hidden outside, tell the 911 operator exactly where it is. For seniors with mobility issues, consider installing a lockbox with a spare key that paramedics can access. Many communities offer these for emergency use. My cousin's father-in-law, George, a 74-year-old who lives alone, had a heart attack last summer. He managed to unlock his door before sitting down to wait, and paramedics were at his side in under 10 minutes. His quick thinking shaved off critical time, and he's still here today, enjoying his grandkids. Another smart move is to inform a neighbor or family member if you can. After calling 911, if you have a moment and feel able, send a quick text or call someone nearby to let them know what's happening. Say, "I've called 911 for a possible heart attack, can you make sure the paramedics get in?" This is especially helpful if you're unsure you can unlock the door or if you pass out before help arrives. Tip 6. Avoid unnecessary movement. Let's move to tip 6. Avoid unnecessary movement during a suspected heart attack. This is critical because your instinct might be to spring into action. Maybe you think you can drive yourself to the hospital or grab something from another room. Stop right there. Moving around, especially doing anything strenuous, can be incredibly dangerous. The American Heart Association warns that physical exertion during a heart attack increases the demand on your heart, which is already struggling to pump blood through a blocked or narrowed artery. For seniors over 60, whose cardiovascular systems may be less resilient, this extra strain can worsen heart damage or even trigger cardiac arrest. A study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that excessive activity during a heart attack can increase the risk of complications by up to 30%. Driving yourself to the hospital is especially risky. Not only are you stressing your heart, but you could lose consciousness, endangering yourself and others on the road. Why is staying still so important? Resting reduces your heart's workload, helping it conserve energy and oxygen when it's under attack. When you move, your muscles demand more blood, forcing your heart to pump harder and faster. By staying calm and immobile, you're essentially putting your heart on low power mode, giving it the best chance to keep functioning until paramedics arrive with oxygen, medications, or a defibrillator. Think of your heart like a car engine running low on fuel. Don't rev it up when it's barely hanging on. I heard about a 66-year-old named Robert who felt chest pain while mowing his lawn. Instead of resting, he tried to drive to the ER, but he collapsed in his car. Thankfully, a passerby called 911, but his heart suffered more damage because of the exertion. Stories like his show why staying put is non-negotiable. So, what should you do? After calling 911 and taking aspirin, if safe, stay seated or lie down while waiting for help. If you're standing, carefully lower yourself onto a chair, couch, or even the floor to avoid falling if you get dizzy, a common symptom that can hit seniors hard. If you're already sitting, don't get up. Lying down is ideal if you feel faint, as it helps blood flow to your brain and heart. Prop yourself up slightly with pillows if breathing feels tough, as this can ease the strain on your lungs. My Aunt Helen, 73, survived a heart attack alone by following this advice. When she felt jaw pain and nausea, she called 911, sat on her recliner, and stayed still. She told me later that resisting the urge to do something was hard, but it kept her stable until the ambulance arrived. Her cardiologist credited her calm approach with minimizing her heart damage. Tip 7. Prepare in advance for emergencies. We've reached tip 7, and this one is all about being proactive. Prepare in advance for emergencies. If you're over 60, especially if you live alone, having a solid plan in place can make the difference between life and death during a heart attack. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for seniors, with over 600,000 heart attack cases in the US annually, according to the CDC. Many of these happen without warning, and for those living solo, there's no one to step in unless you've set yourself up for success. Preparation isn't about living in fear, it's about empowering yourself to face a crisis with confidence. Let's dive into how you can do that. First, create a clear emergency plan. This starts with a list of key contacts. Include your doctor, a nearby family member, a trusted neighbor, and anyone else who could help in a pinch. Write down their names and phone numbers, and keep this list in an easy-to-find spot, like taped to your fridge or inside a wallet card. Next, compile your medical information, your diagnoses, allergies, and current medications, including dosages. For example, if you're on blood thinners or have a history of heart issues, paramedics need to know fast. A simple sheet with this info can save critical time. My friend Maria, 70, keeps a laminated card in her purse listing her heart condition, meds, and her daughter's number. When she had a scare last year, the paramedics used that card to tailor her treatment on the spot, which her doctor said was a lifesaver. Speaking of medications, make sure your emergency plan includes keeping essentials like aspirin accessible. As we discussed in Tip 4, a 325 mg uncoated aspirin can be crucial, so store it in places like your bedside, kitchen, or even a small vial in your pocket if you're out often. Check expiration dates every 6 months to ensure it's ready when you need it. Also, consider your phone setup. Keep it charged and nearby at all times, with emergency numbers on speed dial or voice activated. For seniors with limited mobility, this is non-negotiable. I know a 68-year-old named Harold who forgot where he left his phone during chest pain. He was lucky to find it in time, but he now keeps it clipped to his belt to avoid that panic. Next, consider investing in a medical alert device. These wearable gadgets, like a pendant or wristband, let you call for help with the press of a button, connecting you to a 24/7 operator who can dispatch an ambulance. They're a game changer for seniors living alone, especially if you can't reach a phone or pass out. Studies show that medical alert systems can reduce emergency response times by up to 50%, which is huge when every minute counts. Finally, have an honest conversation with your doctor about your heart attack risks. Everyone's body is different, and personalized advice is key. Ask about your specific risk factors, things like high blood pressure, diabetes, or a family history of heart disease. Discuss whether aspirin is safe for you in an emergency, and what symptoms you're most likely to experience. Women and seniors often have atypical signs, like fatigue or indigestion, so knowing your profile can help you act faster. Your doctor might also recommend lifestyle changes or medications to lower your risk. My neighbor, Mrs. Chen, 72, learned from her doctor that her cholesterol put her at high risk. She adjusted her diet and started a daily walk, which she credits for keeping her heart stronger when she had a mild heart attack last year. To tie it all together, think of your emergency plan like a fire drill. You hope you never need it, but you'll be glad you practiced. Write down your contacts and medical info, keep aspirin and a phone handy, consider a medical alert device, and talk to your doctor. These steps take a little effort now but can save your life later. Look at someone like my Uncle Ray, 69, who lives alone. He put together a plan after a friend's heart scare, including a medical alert bracelet and a typed medical summary. When he had chest pain last fall, his preparation meant he called 911, pressed his alert button, and had his info ready for paramedics. He's back to fishing today because he planned ahead. You can do the same, take charge of your safety now, and you'll be ready for whatever comes. We've just walked through 7 life-saving tips to help you survive a heart attack alone, and I hope you're feeling empowered. Let's recap quickly. First, recognize the warning signs, chest pain, shortness of breath, or even subtle symptoms like fatigue. Second, stay calm with slow, deep breaths to ease your heart strain. Third, call 911 immediately, no hesitation. Fourth, chew a 325 mg aspirin if it's safe for you. Fifth, unlock your door to let paramedics in fast. Sixth, avoid unnecessary movement to keep your heart at rest. And seventh, prepare in advance with an emergency plan, a medical alert device, and a chat with your doctor. These steps are your toolkit for survival, and they're rooted in proven medical advice. Here's the uplifting truth: knowledge and preparation can save lives. By learning these tips, you're not just protecting yourself, you're taking control and giving yourself the power to face a crisis with confidence. You don't have to feel helpless, because you're ready. Think of all the seniors out there, like my friend Clara or my Uncle Joe, who survived heart attacks because they knew what to do. You can be that story, too, living to enjoy more sunsets, grandkids' laughter, or your favorite hobbies. You've got this. Now, let's spread this life-saving knowledge. Share this video with your loved ones, your parents, siblings, or friends, because everyone over 60 needs to know these tips. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more health advice to keep you thriving. Drop a comment below with your own tips or questions. I'd love to hear from you. One quick disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only, so please consult your doctor for personalized medical advice. You're stronger than you know, and with these tools, you're ready to take on anything. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video.